Hi friends and fellow earth angels, it's Gladys and welcome back to my pick a card reading. I decided last minute that I wanted to do a pick a card reading for relationships. Particularly if you're having challenges in a relationship right now, and this relationship can be with a significant other, it can be with a parent or a child. As I've mentioned in other videos, I work with clients on a regular basis and I pay attention to patterns and repetitive messages that come up over and over again. And within the last couple weeks, I've been working with quite a few women who are challenged in their relationships with their significant other. Something is happening with the masculine and feminine energy. Something is happening with men in particular. I think they're going through some type of awakening process or some type of shift. It's all about like accessing life purpose and growth and expansion. And it's all good. It's all good, but it can be really scary or uncomfortable or difficult going through like a metamorphosis in your relationship. So, and then I don't want to cancel it out. I don't want to cancel out other people because the same things can go on with other relationships. And I'm really mindful, that my energy is in like attracting certain situations and, I'm presenting messages coming from my own experiences. But the thing with relationships, I'm not in a relationship right now. So I can't even say, these challenges and these difficulties are coming from my own personal experience right now. But I do want to put it out there that I have gone through lots of metamorphoses in many of my relationships. So, although I'm not directly in it, I can speak from experience as I've struggled with a lot of what my clients are going through right now. So I had a whole other different reading planned and I just felt compelled to do this. So I'm hoping it resonates. I am actually going to pick all the cards. I think it's a little more validating for you as you're watching to watch how I pick the cards and see that they all come out in an organic way. If you don't want to watch me shuffle, you can jump ahead to the timestamps. You can jump ahead to your reading. I'm going to put the timestamps in the description below. You can choose from the yellow stone, the green stone, or the blue stone. So typically in the energy of the chakras, yellow represents solar plexus and power. The green represents heart chakra and love, and the throat. And the blue represents the throat chakra and communication. So if that helps you to pick a little bit, if you're struggling with standing in your power, or you're struggling with like your heart chakra or your throat chakra and communication, maybe that'll help you choose one. You can watch all three; they all may resonate with you. If you're watching a reading and it's not really resonating with your situation, pick another reading. I really encourage you to trust your intuition on these and just kind of take in what resonates and dump the rest. If you don't stay all the way through, I just want to let you know that if these messages relate and you would like more information about your own energy and your own relationship from guardian angels and guides, divine guidance sessions are awesome for that. You can book an appointment. There's a link right below. You can make a donation to my channel, or you could also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. So I think that's it for announcements, and I'm going to get started. So the decks I'm using are Whispers of Love, Soul's Journey, and this will be like what your guides feel like you're learning now in this relationship or from this relationship. There will be healing messages from Raphael. There will be loving words from Jesus, and we'll finish with a God card, Love and Light. So as you can see, they're very healing, gentle energies to support you. And I'm going to start with pulling a card from the Whispers of Love. So let me open up space as I invite in all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, God Source Creator, and all holy loving beings of light that would like to assist with this guidance for you today. And I'm going to ask that the messages that come through be for your best and highest good and the best and highest good of all concerned. So we're going to start with pulling a card for the yellow stone. Okay. All right, yellow stone. Okay. Yellow stone. Green. Green stone. Heart. What message do you have for the green heart people? Okay. Let's pull this one. Let's see if I can just move these up a little bit. Oh, and I was just going to pull the top one. Let's see, and blue stone. And blue stone for today. Okay. So let's receive healing messages from Raphael. All right, Raphael. Yellow stone, solar plexus, empowerment message do you have for the group? Okay. And hearts, green stone. Heart, green stone. Okay, pull this one. And blue stone, throat chakra, throat. And lessons. What are you learning from this situation with these challenges and difficulties in your relationship? Yellow stone, empowerment, solar plexus. Okay. Green stone, heart, energy. What are they learning in this relationship? Okay. And blue stone, throat. And loving words from Jesus. Oh, my friend, what do you have for the group? Yellow. Yellow stone, empowerment, solar plexus. Heart. Heart chakra, love. What do you have for the group? And blue, throat. And finally, loving messages from God, love and light. Oh God, already feel like overwhelmed with like love and healing coming through. All right, God, what messages do you have for the yellow group? What do you want them to know? Solar plexus, empowerment. Let's go with this one. Green. Wow. Well, we'll pull that one. And blue. Let's see. That one was blue. Blue throat chakra. Communication. Voice. What message do you have for the group? All right. All right, friends. Let's set the piles back up. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to set them up once more. If you haven't chosen yet, you're not sure. Here we go. All right, friends. Taking a deep breath. And all right, let's start with yellow, number 1. Move the green over here. And the blue over here. Actually, let's see. Still getting a layout here, friends. Figuring it all out. Okay. For those of you who chose pile number 1, or the yellow stone for solar plexus, empowerment, let's begin. The first card we have is embrace your emotions. Don't push down your feelings or judge your emotions. And it's interesting because this card is number, if you can get the focus, this card is number 18. 8 plus 1 equals 9, and 9 equals an ending of cycles. So here we have, so we're going to get some focus here, embrace your emotions. Now I have to say, friends, embracing emotions is something I've been doing a lot of inner work on this year, well, last year and this year for myself. And I feel like one of the messages, it's so easy sometimes to fall into that, what do I do? How do I fix this? How do I make it better? What actions can I take? And I feel like this message is sometimes the best things to do is embrace your feelings. If you're feeling sad, or you're feeling scared, or you're feeling lonely or confused, feeling it in your body sometimes is so much better than trying to figure it out. As I've mentioned in other readings, I've been sitting a lot with my thoughts and my feelings, and I too, again, have gone through multiple changes in the last year and a half. And I had no choice but to sit with my emotions. I mean, I had some experiences that completely gutted me. You know, you think you know, and then life happens, and then you don't know. And I have to say, it's all part of the healing process. It's all part of growth and spiritual expansion. And I feel like this card is coming out to say, embrace your emotions. So if you're stuffing, if you're ignoring, if you're running away from, those things are going to come back to you. If you need a support system or a network, you know, or reach out to a therapist, a counselor, a life coach, a spiritual advisor, call on God and Jesus and ask them to send the right people in your life that can support you in that. You know, we're moving out of that age where we're figuring it out and doing it all on our own. Let me adjust my camera here a little bit so that we're getting clarity in the messages. Okay, so Raphael's healing message for you. Jesus, the divine healer. See, you know, we've got a Jesus card, and Jesus's message is coming up too. And the message is, I don't know why I'm having a hard time with focus. It says, Dear Jesus, thank you for your divine healing power and presence. So I feel like this message is as you're going through and sitting with feelings and thoughts and guidance, I feel like Jesus is saying, call me in and allow me to be part of this. One of the big messages that Jesus always says is to relinquish your thoughts, relinquish your worries and fears to me. Give them to me and turn your attention to this higher power, this unconditional love vibration and this light. And he can support you on your journey. So your lessons, what you're learning and the experiences that you're having, this cycle, it says, I am open to seeing both sides of a situation, empathy. You know, few people are going through, two people or multiple people, maybe if you're having a family involved, I'm sorry, I'm just getting distracted by my camera and not focusing. All right, let me just reset here because I know what I want to say. So empathy, I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. Sometimes when we have experiences that we feel a victim to, or we feel the emotions of how dare you or how could you, it really builds up the energy of anger and frustration. And I feel that like this card is reminding us or reminding you that there are multiple people involved that are coming from different life experiences, that are having different thoughts and feelings and emotions, and to be able to have empathy for everyone involved. You know, in my challenging relationships, it was so easy to feel like, you know, that I did everything, or, you know, I put so much time and energy and nobody appreciates it and stuff like that. But, you know, I realized like that's my own need to be loved. It's my own need to fix things. You know, I'm a problem solver, and so it's easy to feel those angers or those frustrations come up. And so seeing both sides, even just sitting with Jesus and asking him to show you truth in the situation can be incredibly powerful as you're embracing these emotions. So one of the messages that I'm feeling strongly in this is be still and know. There's a Bible verse, be still and know that I am God. If you're guided to, please go, you know, Google it and listen to it. That might be a special message for some of you, but this healing isn't going to come from movement, from running away, from stuffing and packing in those feelings. I feel like the divine is really open to offering you some guidance and some support through your intuition. So being still and tapping into the energy of your heart right now, that's where you can receive guidance and answers. So let's pull a Jesus card here and see what he has to say. His message is, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. The peacemakers. The peacemakers. So I feel like he's saying, like, how do we peace is the answer. So if you're fighting, if there is those feelings of being scorned, I feel like Jesus is saying peace is the answer. I also get the message of asking Jesus to come in and help your relationships. Ask him to show you the way, the actions, and problems, as we know, don't get solved with aggression and anger and fighting. I know when we're feeling frustration and anger, it's so easy to kind of rise up and want to defend yourself or make your point. But I promise you, in that energy, nobody's listening. Each other just wants to be heard. And one of the best things I could do is take a step back and pull back and feel all the feelings within myself. Feel the emotions, feel the experiences, understand what in my past is triggering me in this situation. What can I learn from, and how can I communicate in the best way? I can tell you, silence is not going to help. And not taking action, not taking action in a sense where you stuff it and you pretend it's going to heal or change itself. So I was just having this conversation the other day that, emotions and not working through them is kind of like energetically when somebody's gaining weight. When somebody's gaining weight, at some point they're going to outgrow their pants. And in that moment, they're starting to feel uncomfortable, not like themselves, their body's feeling uncomfortable. And in that moment, we all have a choice. We can either make the adjustments, take the action, make the changes to feel healthier, to lose that weight, or buy bigger pants. Most people, friends, buy bigger pants. And then what happens is, okay, so you've got a little more room and things are a little more comfortable, but guess what? That's not solving the problem. And then you get to that point again. And so people right now are going through this mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's like they're filling up with these emotions and feelings, and it's getting really uncomfortable, like I can't take it anymore. And then what happens is, like, you have an opportunity in that moment. Do we seek support? Do we seek guidance? Do we work together? Do we work on forgiveness and healing? Or do we have this explosion, this fight, getting all this energy out, and then move on and pretend that everything is okay? And what happens is, you know, friends, the problem is still going to be there, or the problems are still going to be there. We're in this movement right now where we're learning about self-love, and we're coming together in union, in partnerships where there's like equal balance. There's this masculine and feminine within us, you know. Sometimes in a relationship, you know, the female is more dominant at points, and other times the masculine is more dominant at points, and vice versa. And again, it's not boy girl, it's the dynamic of your relationship. So only you can kind of decipher what that is, but we're learning how to balance the masculine and feminine within each of us. And I have to say, with the masculine energies right now, you know, they're going through some type of life purpose metamorphosis, and a trigger for that will be their jobs. Or if you're masculine identified, maybe you're a woman who identifies with the masculine energy and you're going through job stuff, you're being asked to seek out and go within to expand on your life purpose. Like, what are you here? It is no secret that the planet is evolving and it's changing, and there's a lot more people awakening and shifting. And again, this is part of the Earth Angel Collective. So if this is not resonating with you, then this is just not a reading for you, you know. But I know there are so many couples out there who are going through these metamorphoses and changes, and even single people are going within this shift within themselves. Now, what I know with the masculine and feminine energy is, like, feminine energy needs to feel love, to grow, to be creative, to be able to expand. The masculine energy really needs to be settled into life purpose, making money, feeling like a good provider in order for him to open his heart. And, you know, one of the really great books that I loved was Steve Harvey's Act Like a Woman, Think Like a Man. And he really gives some good perspective on the masculine energy and what they need to be able to be in a committed, healthy relationship. And I feel like, you know, this is what so many people are going through right now, that feminine energy is not feeling love from their partner. And the masculine energy is struggling with, you know, I've got kids or houses or responsibilities. I'm not loving the work that I'm doing, and I don't know what to do. So both the masculine and feminine energies right now are being asked to go within and seek higher purpose. You know, if not, there'll be more money spent, there'll be more aggression, there'll be more difficulties, there'll be more silence and, you know, throat stuff with festering words. Again, friends, it's all good. The moment you realize that life is happening for you and not against you, everything changes. You know, so the feminine energies right now being asked to embark on, what creative gifts do you have? How can you access your intuition and your creative ideas to expand love on this planet through your life purpose? You know, and it really goes back to that self-love, and then receiving love from whomever, whether it's your animals or your coworkers or friendships. You know, that feminine energy really needs access to that. So again, starting with self-love of yourself. Same thing with the masculine energy. You know, they're learning to get into the feelings and feel what that feels like, and access intuition and guidance. It's like I said, friends, it's all balancing out, but there needs to be some adjustments and shifts with that. So let me pull the final card. And God says, focus on your blessings. And the message says, yes, you will be enriched in every way so that you can always be generous. So I feel like he's saying you're going to be supported. You're going to be taken care of. It's almost like I see wishes going out there to the universe. So that picture almost reminds me of of somebody who is calling on the divine, focus on your blessings. What are the benefits? What are the good things that have come out of these relationships? What have you learned from these relationships? Because what's going to happen is the many of you who are watching this reading are at the forefront. I went through this experience that the collective is going through now about 5 years ago. It was, do I stay, do I go? I wasn't happy. It was just like fighting all the time, and really in that struggle of what do I do? Now, I made the choice to leave, and I learned a lot from it, and I think it was the best thing I ever did, but that's not to say that's right for you and your relationship. Only you can determine that. But one of the things that I had was kind of like a thread or a string that pulled me through that difficult experiences was focusing on my blessings, like what was calling on the divine. And I have to say that situation actually brought me closer to God and the angels, and it gave me more insight. And maybe that horrible experience that I went through, and I say that in the most loving way, because I'm still here. I made it, and I'm learning from relationships because of it. It was a difficult experience for me, but it's also giving me the blessings to be able to teach and support others who are going through that. And I have to say, I was in that relationship for 13 years, friends. It was really over at 8, but I stayed longer, hoping, wishing, dreaming, and praying that things would change. But you have to remember, you need two people who want to work on things and grow. And shift together. So unfortunately that didn't work out for me, but I know it was one of the best things for me. So I feel like that was a lot. So start with embracing your emotions, call on Jesus, know that really peace is the answer. Fighting is really not going to get us anywhere. I know that couples out there love each other, and I know they're going through difficult times, and I just, I pray there's more counselors and more support systems out there for the masculine energies right now that are shifting again in a powerful way. We can't help but see that there's something more that's going to come from this. So know that there's two people in the situation, and when in doubt, when there's nothing that you can do physically, in meditation, focus on your blessings. Focus on the gifts and the knowledge and wisdom of what you're learning, and know that God will lead the way. Okay. So those are the messages for, and again, it kind of goes along again with the solar plexus and the empowerment, right? Empowerment is being able to navigate and flow through this energy. Okay. All right, so if you chose the yellow stone, thank you for watching. If you'd like, you can skip ahead as I do the closing out energy, and we'll move to the green stone. All right, if you're at this part of the reading, you chose the green stone, heart chakra energy and love. So welcome, and let's open space. First card, slow down. And the message is, when you are excited, you get ahead of yourself. Take some time to allow things to unfold. Again, number 9. So the solar plexus yellow stone 9 came up, and here we have the 9 again, which is about endings and completion. So I can't help but think that we're ending cycles, old ways of doing things, old belief systems, situations that just keep repeating themselves over and over again, that just is just old. So I feel like when we're trying to race through things, when we're trying to run around and avoid maybe, or there's all these have tos and shoulds, it's hard to hear the inner wisdom. It's hard to hear the guidance that comes. And also too, when you make adjustments or you make changes, know that things take time to unfold. It takes a little bit for energy to catch up. So maybe if you're one of those who are like, okay, I'm doing this and I'm making this adjustment and I'm speaking up and I'm opening my heart chakra and I'm doing all this energy, where is love, or where's the benefit? And I feel like this card is reminding you to rest. It's reminding you to take it easy. This might be a message for a retreat. This might be a message for somebody who needs a little more rest, and allow the divine in. Again, if you've been taking a lot of action, I feel like the other message is open up your heart and your mind to allow the divine to come in and let nature take its course. And be open to receiving guidance that, again, maybe something that, it may be an answer or problem, something that, what am I trying to say? An answer to a problem or something comes up that that you didn't think of, and then maybe God sends a person along for you, or maybe God sends a quote or a book or something that comes up that can support you. So when you're slowing down, you're paying attention to what's happening around you in nature, license plates. I know myself and a lot of people are really dialed into the numbers lately of 111, 222, 333. It really means you're in sync with the environment, you're in sync with the universe, and they're showing up like as a hello from heaven, like we got your back, keep going. So Raphael's healing message says fresh air. We were just talking about this, going out for a walk, taking a break, slowing down. And his message says, Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me breathe easier in all ways. So again, maybe you just went through some healing. Maybe you just went through an experience. The bubble kind of burst and you're in this space of like transition. Maybe you're feeling like, okay, what now? What am I supposed to do? And I feel like the universe is saying, take a time out, hit the reset button, slow down, rest. It is a beautiful day in New England here. It is 65 degrees on February 5th, the Chinese New Year. And I was able to get out for a walk earlier today with my dog and just kind of soak it in. And I was really grateful for being able to do that in February. So maybe this is a message to say, if you're transitioning or things just changed and you're like, oh God, did I do the right thing? Am I in the right space? I feel like this is a message to say, we're working behind the scenes to support you. So the best thing you can do is take care of yourself right now. And the lessons that you're learning. Trust. It says, I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. This may be a specific message for somebody who may be doubting their decisions, who may be doubting the actions that they just took. And I feel like this is validation that you're on the right track, and to trust. Trust that your inner voice is leading you in this way. One of the big messages I keep seeing personally for myself is like leap of faith. Like take a chance, try it. And that's not always easy, and I can certainly resist. But when I have made those changes and those adjustments, they've been like the best thing I ever did. So I feel like this is the universe just saying, trust in your gut, trust in your inner voice, that all these things that are happening right now to you are for you, and not to be critical of yourself and beating yourself up for what you could or couldn't have done. Self-love. All right, in Jesus' message, it says, peace I leave you, my peace I give unto you. Again, you see him in this place of contemplation, and just kind of staring out. And when you're in that place of peace and inner stillness, that's where you hear the voice. That's where you receive the guidance of the next steps. I'm really feeling the energy of recharging here. And we are under the heart chakra energy and the love energy. Please, please, please focus on keeping your heart open. Focus on, heart chakra meditations. I cannot say enough how when we go through difficult situations and challenges, it's so easy to close down the heart chakra, the heart energy, and to protect yourself in that space of like, I'll never love again, or I'll never help that person, or I'm not going to forgive. And that is really like, it's like a sting, like getting stung, or like getting a little burnt by fire or something. It stings, and naturally your heart wants to be guarded, and it wants to put up like the sword and shield. And it's just not going to benefit your energy to kind of push that love away. So the best thing that you can do is call on God and the angels and Jesus and ask them to fill your heart to overflowing, to help your heart to heal. And also to sit in that energy of peace. Let me see. Wait a minute. I'm just getting more on peace. So peace, I feel like Jesus's message means peace is relinquishing your worries, cares, and concerns to him, to his gentleness and his power, and continue to go out and be a good human. Continue to go out and spread kindness and love. Get out and get some fresh air, and be a good human. And in that, you'll find inner peace. Again, I can't tell you how beautiful my walk was this morning, and invoking that energy of peace as I stepped out, and the stillness and the calmness that's out there was really refreshing. Again, I do feel like it's a message to get out, slow down, get some fresh air, be in the present moment, and that peace will find you rather than going out and trying to force it. Okay, so the last message here I have, friends, validation. Spend more time outdoors. There's no excuse. It's 65 degrees out today. I have no idea what tomorrow will be, because in New England, tomorrow could be a blizzard. Who the heck knows? So the message is, they're like trees planted along the riverbank, bearing fruit each season. Their leaves never wither, and they prosper in all they do. Spend time outdoors. So, I don't know how many ways that the divine could say it in this reading. And again, it's not about what more do I do. It's about fresh air, taking some deep breaths, being still in the moment. And as you get out of the way, the divine can come in and open doors and shift things for you. If you're in that space of, I can do it, I can handle it, I can make it happen, I can tell you, you're going to burn a lot of energy. And when you get to the place that you've been asking for, you're going to be tired. So I feel like this reading is a big time out. Time out. Call it quits. If there's a lot going on and you don't know what to do and the energy's all built up, or you just made some decisions, or you feel like the universe is saying, time out, take a break, take a few deep breaths, pull your energy out of whatever situation is ruffling your feathers. Again, it could be a relationship with a boss, it can be a coworker, a partnership, a family member, a child. It could even be with yourself. So take it in as it resonates, but I can't say enough. Peace, rest, slow down, spend time outdoors. And those are your messages. All right, friends. Thank you for watching. And I'm going to close up space for the green. And if you're finished and you're not going to watch anymore, you can skip to the end where I do the closing, close down the energy and space. And let's do the blue. All right. If you picked the blue stone, throat chakra, communication, welcome. Here we go. And the first message, look at your pattern in relationships. It requires inner strength to recognize that you need to change or modify your behavior. It's interesting. So in the last couple readings, the number at the top of the card was significant. So this number is 32. 3 plus 2 equals 5. And 5 is all about change. So I feel like this card is, we're starting off with the energy of reflection. Before you can speak your truth or before you can communicate, you really got to know yourself. And this situation just recently happened to me with trying to understand my pattern in relationships. And, this last situation I was in, I couldn't help but think like, okay, this is clearly a situation that's going on with me. How do I fix this and change it? So, the last few months I've been doing a lot of inner work and being mindful of how the relationships in my life have been a pattern. And I feel like this card is saying like, okay, if you keep having the same situations, like here we are again, and we're going through the same experience over and over again, I feel like this card is saying to take a step back and see like those feelings that are within you that keep coming up over and over again. And how do you need to change or modify your behavior? So if you're somebody that just gets defensive and goes in and wants to fight all the time, I ask you, how is that working out for you? Is it working out for you? Is there a shift or a new approach or another way for you to approach these situations? Raphael's message. His healing message, do more research. The message says, Dear God and Archangel Raphael, thank you for clearly and gently leading me to the information that I need to know for my well-being. Please give me the courage to be assertive as I take charge of my health care needs. So do more research. Again, if you're in a place of, I don't know what to do, and this keeps happening to me over and over again, I feel like Archangel Raphael is saying, hey there may be answers in books, or there may be answers online. There may be some blogs that you can research. God loves Google. So if you're having a situation that keeps coming up over and over again, and it appears to be a pattern with yourself or within your relationship, I feel like Raphael is saying here to seek out some support or some guidance and help. Do some research. If you feel like you don't know what the answers are, you don't know how to shift and change things, I can tell you there are some amazing therapists out there, some amazing healers, spiritual advisors, myself included. A lot of the energy work I do is like, we go right in the energy system and I pull out those emotions and those patterns. So maybe you're stuck and you're not really even sure. Book an IET session, or book a magnified healing session, which is a spiritual attunement and alignment. I can tell you, friends, we'll go right in and pull that energy out. So you don't have to do it alone. But know that I feel like Archangel Raphael, as you invite him in your situation, he is the angel of healing. He will bring more knowledge and wisdom to you to help you in this space, and also be able to communicate your needs. So the lesson here, beautiful. Love. It says, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. And one of the messages that I say often is, once you realize that life is happening for you and not against you, everything changes. So when you can see that the struggle that you're going through, the difficulties and challenges are you going through are really, it's kind of like the final exam in school. So a lot of times I think people get scorned by God in a sense, where they're saying, I wish you would stop testing me, or I don't need any more lessons. And so and that kind of projects that energy out towards that vibration. So one of my thoughts on that is, if you can pull back and think of life as school. So when you're in the second grade or third grade, or you're in high school getting ready to go to college, with each level of education, there needs to be tests, pop quizzes, and final exams. And what they do is they really just are there to see and to show you if you're ready for the next level. So when you take a final exam, the point of it is really not to punish you and make you crazy and stressed. The point of it is to say, listen, the next level is going to get a little harder. So we need to know that you have got the information, that you've absorbed it, that you've done the work, so that you can move on to the next level, right? And it all has to come back to love of yourself and the space that you're in. There's always going to be some sort of change. Even though we fight and resist it, there's always a state of change. So if you can see these lessons and these pop quizzes or these final exams the universe is tossing at us, don't see them as a form of punishment. See them as them saying, hey, you've come to the end of a situation, or you've come to an end of a level, and we so want to pass you on to something even better, but we need to make sure that you're going to be able to handle it. You know, sometimes some people stay in the same grade their whole life, and that's okay too. Maybe that's your journey. But I think a lot of people who are watching these messages and watching these readings are in a rapid state of growth. So you're feeling like you're in this constant state of change. And you have to remember too, energetically, the more you want, the more things need to shift and change. So on some level, you did ask for this. You asked for more love. You asked for more kindness. You asked for more peace. You asked for more financial security. Well, guess what? Sometimes your current relationship or your current experiences or your current job might not have the capacity to support you in the way that you're asking for. So the universe is going to start squeezing and pushing so that when a door opens, you're going to walk right through and you're not going to doubt. So again, life is happening for you. God loves you so much. So you have to see that all these things that you're going through right now, especially in relationships, is preparing you for the next level. You know what I mean? You can't move on to multiplication tables until you can add single digits and add double digits, right? Everything is an extension on the other. So, you know, being in school is really symbolic on how we're managing life, you know? So again, I feel like that's where the universe is saying, like, do more research, study, prepare. There are so many incredible relationship books out there. I love Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. There's also a new, it's not new, but it was new to me, Mars and Venus on a Date. There are so many bloggers and people who are in this spiritual realm who are working on growth. I can say Tony Robbins and Sage, you know, they're killing it in relationships. And I'm not saying they're perfect, but they are a good example of how there's balance between the masculine and the feminine with each other and within themselves. So look for those positive role models, those positive relationships that are out there. I also look to, you know, Chip and Joanna Gaines on Fixer Upper. You know, there is this degree of support that he offers Joanna, and there's also this degree of growth that she has, an expansion, because she's loved deeply by her husband and by her family, and obviously her clients and the work that she does. So she's going to excel and grow and expand in that sense, you know, and she walks in and she lets him do what he does best. He likes to break stuff. He likes to tear stuff down. He likes to build, and she lets him do that. So there's this degree of, hey, I see you and I see your special talents and I see your growth. And that's the perfect example when you have like Tony and Sage and Chip and Joanna, who are really tapped into life purpose and how it works. So and again, I think that's part of this. Do your research and just see how other couples are loving on each other, what feels good and what doesn't feel good, and how they're communicating with each other, how they're supporting. I'm not to say that their relationships are perfect and they have difficulties and challenges, but you know what? There's clear communication there. They've clearly done their inner work to know who they are as an individual, and they love each other unconditionally enough to allow each other to shine in the way that they do best. So let's pull a Jesus card. And his message says, "Take therefore no thought for the morrow shall take the thought for the things itself." Let me see. I feel like this is like saying, like, try not to get too far ahead in the future. I feel like this message says stay in the moment. Be aware of what's happening around you. Again, the quotes that are coming up, the signs that are around you, guiding you along the way, the people who are coming into your life to support you. And I feel like that's where, I feel like this card is saying, like, stay out of tomorrow. Stay out of the future, that dread of what's going to happen, how, when, what if. And I feel like as you turn your heart and your mind to God and Jesus and that high vibration of unconditional love, that energy will guide you. That energy will support you, and that energy will show you the way. So let's pull God's final card. Like I just said, reflect God's compassion. So his message says, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as God through Christ has forgiven you. So, we're all children of God. We're all here learning. And, as I said earlier, preparing for those preparing for those tests and preparing for what life has coming for us can be challenging. It can be worrisome. And I feel like this is God saying, reflect in his compassion. Ask him to help you see others through his eyes. So I have a difficult family member that it's sad, it's hard. I love this person very much, but yet it's really difficult to be in their energy, and it's hard. And I've had to really protect myself. So I did sit with my feelings and my emotions on it. I did see the pattern and how that relationship has shown up, or that energy in that relationship has shown up in other relationships in my life. And I asked God to show me this person's heart through his eyes of love. And what I saw, sadly, was a lot of pain, a lot of fear, a lot of worry. And it really softened my heart to feeling like the victim, like I can't do anything right, or I haven't figured out how to fix this relationship. And it helped me see a different perspective. So when you're still in the moment and you put your hand over your heart, your other hand over your solar plexus, and you sit with the energy of focusing your attention on your body, and you go into your intuition, in that moment, call on God and ask him to help you see his love in that person through his eyes. And just notice what happens. Maybe your body will soften. Maybe you'll cry. Maybe you'll have an aha moment, but it really takes you being still and being open to receive whatever messages come for you. You might get the message that it's time to go. You might get the message that you need to say something, as we have this throat chakra energy here. The people who chose this reading may be on the verge of needing to communicate or voice something that's really hard. Maybe you've been stuffing that. And this is all saying, hey, have all your ducks in a row so that you can share coming from a place of how you're feeling and not from a place of attack. You this, you that. blah, 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 all that stuff that you stuffed is going to come out in a passive-aggressive way. It's not healthy, and it's not going to help this situation. And I really feel like the underlying message right here is love. It's no coincidence that love is right in the middle. And again, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. And if that's hard for you as a human, as you've gone through stuff, ask to see it through the eyes of God. Ask him to show you what it is that you need. Stay out of the worries and the fears and the have to and shoulds of the future. And again, pay attention to the thoughts and the patterns and the feelings that you're having over and over again. Whew. These readings were loaded. Okay, so let me close up throat chakra. Blue stone. And I'm going to close up space. All right, let me fix this a little bit. And let me close space. I want to thank all your guardian angels and guides, the archangels, the ascended masters, all beings of light that assisted, God, source, creator. And I'm going to ask that any healing that was started today continue for as long as it needs to be done in mind, body, spirit, and emotions in all ways. All right, friends. Once again, if you'd like to book a private session with me, you can do so. There's a link below if you'd like to make a donation to my channel in support of the work that I'm doing. It's always much appreciated. And if nobody's told you today, I love you. Trust in God, trust in the divine, and trust in your own tuition. And I send you love with heavenly hugs. Bye for now.